in my opinion, the best ever Arsenal player. I know that's controversial, but it's just my taste. So if you don't like it, then you've just got to deal with it.
I don't like it. I just think that'd be a great evening. Like, even if we just all sat and listened to him go, and we fought on the beaches, and then I smoked my cigar. He pokes his head out the window, and he, not one word of a lie, he goes, "Oh, you are godly goop, 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 godly boo," like that. And
What?
And I'm really looking forward to this dinner party now. And I'll
Wait, what are you making? What are you cooking?
probably like Happy Meal or something. Hello and welcome to a quite Christmas-themed podcast. Samuel, what we've got? What jumper? Could you please explain the jumper you are wearing?
The jumper I'm wearing is a Christmas themed jumper. It is just telling you to gobble until you wobble. So basically, eat loads of turkey and then you end up just wobbling.
Mine's just the standard reindeer, so not that exciting.
You know,
not as
not
exciting.
that exciting. But today, Jack Darby.
Oh, today we're having a bit of a dinner party.
We're having a dinner party, mate, and we've got 5 invitations each for this dinner party.
We've only got 6 chairs, so we've only got 5 guests. Okay.
5. They
may be dead or alive. Obviously, when they turn up, they are alive. They're not just.
Well, you know what? I'd like to. I mean, that'd be a turn up for the books. They just fucking get rolled in.
Yeah, it looks like 5 hot dogs. Right.
Oh my god. Bloody hell.
Right. Sam, I'll let you shoot the first bullet off.
The first bullet. So my first invitation.
Hopefully they're not dead.
They are alive. They are alive, and I actually think that I said to you off the pod that you would be like, yep, he's coming to yours. My first invitation is going to none other than Dennis Bergkamp. 100%.
Yeah, obviously.
He is just an idol. He is my favourite ever Arsenal player. In my opinion, the best ever Arsenal player. I know that's controversial, but it's just my taste. So if you don't like it, then you've just got to deal with it.
I don't like it. Right.
Well,
Can we move on? Can we move on? I'm so disappointed.
What do you mean?
I'm so disappointed because it's so predictable for you, and I just.
Okay. I think all of mine are quite predictable. I'll be honest, but you know, I can't really help that. Go on.
Well,
your first guess?
My first
Dennis
one
is coming.
Is actually a bigger legend than Dennis Bergkamp, and this man is called Winston Churchill.
Wow. Okay.
The best.
Fair enough.
The best prime minister we have ever had. Anyone that assaulted that statue is not English. Basically, they don't even know what the war was. So you're an idiot. And yeah, I just think that it would just be brilliant to have him sitting there smoking a cigar and just talking about how we basically won the war. I just think that'd be a great evening. Like, even if we just all sat and listened to him go, and we fought on the beaches, and then I smoked my cigar. Like, that would be, I'd be so happy. God. I'd be so happy. So,
oh my God.
Winston, you're in the room. Right, Samuel. Who's sitting next to Dennis Bergkamp?
Well, I mean, I've gone for a much more recent group of. They are all gentlemen. Can I just say? It's not. It just kind of happened.
We've decided to be totally sexist this podcast. So.
No. It just kind of happened. Like that's not it at all.
Yeah. We just don't like women and we don't like their rights. So yeah, go on, Sam.
Fuck. Take that back. Take it back.
It's obviously a joke.
Thank you. So the gentleman that's sitting next to Dennis Bergkamp is unfortunately not with us, but he's coming to the dinner party. He has confirmed. It's James Brown. James Brown is coming to my dinner party.
Does he feel good?
He always feels good, mate.
Right.
He always feels good. He is an absolute icon. I don't know if did you see the film about his life? Get On Up.
Maybe I have like a couple of years ago, but what I remember, he did have a bad drug addiction, didn't he? But I think a lot of people in that industry did at that time.
Yeah, they did. But he had such a troubled childhood, and like to come from like his dad used to beat him up, his mum left. He used to he used to work at a brothel, which is interesting as a child.
So what do you think James Charles would offer at the dinner table?
James Charles? You mean James Brown?
Sorry, James Brown. Jesus Christ.
They're two very different beings.
Sorry.
Oh my God, James Brown. Well, I mean, obviously he offers entertainment. He's there. I mean, if we want to sing song, James Brown is there. But also, he just gives us. You've got Winston for your stories.
I could just say, yeah, but I could see him actually being a bit of an issue guest. Do you know what I mean? Like someone, for example, Bergkamp would be right in the middle of the story about how he just bossed it at Arsenal, and then all of a sudden you hear wow like that, and it just.
Can I just say that I do have some substitutions. If for whatever reason these gentlemen can't arrive at the party, there's something comes up.
Right. Okay.
I do have some subs, and I have a guest that would be an absolute nightmare.
Right. Well, I think James Brown, whichever one I want to call him.
James Charles ain't coming to mind, mate. Is he on your list?
No, he's definitely not on my list.
Okay.
Fucking hell. Sitting next to Winston Churchill, this guy I absolutely love. Right. He for me has been the best actor I've ever seen, and he's always going to be my favourite. It's the man. The legend, Tom Hanks. I absolutely love this guy. He didn't just... He obviously entered my life at quite a young age watching Toy Story and watching several different films. And like even like, for example, Big. Did you watch Big, Sam?
Yeah, Big.
Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. I just love him. I find him such a versatile actor. He can make you laugh. He can make you cry. He can be so serious. Even like... the one when he's in the airport, the terminal. Have you seen that one where it's like that it's just like how the hell can you be that much of a good actor? I just feel like he would be from what I've seen him in interviews, him being himself is just such a larger than life character. So I'd absolutely love to see him and Winston having a bit of banter.
Oh, I can see that now. You know what? I can see them getting along.
Yeah,
it would go quite well.
There's a snake in my boot.
Oh my God. Anyway, I have another actor who's coming. Well, there's two separate dinner parties. Can I just say?
You're making this far too complicated. There's a table with 6 chairs. You got Bergkamp and you got James Brown, whoever you want to call him, next to him.
And the next person is an actor, and his name is Rowan Atkinson.
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean.
I just honestly, I think Rowan Atkinson. I don't think he actually gets enough credit for how unbelievable Mr. Bean is.
He's a legend. He's a legend.
Mate, he's a legend. He does nothing and it's funny. Like you just look at him and he's funny.
Yeah, I mean, if you actually watch the early Mr. Bean shows when he was sort of basically unknown. It's genius sort of writing. It's so incredible. So funny. And I loved him in Blackadder as well. I thought all the Blackadders he was in were excellent. I feel like that is a completely different thing as well, Sam, isn't it? Because Mr. Bean, he rarely really spoke. Do you know what I mean? And
the thing.
Blackadder did nothing but speak. So it was like really sort of like a flip of the coin, and he smashed both roles.
No, he did, and it shows it like he smashed it, and it shows his diversity. And also something that I would love to talk about at this dinner party would be his do you remember he was involved in the Olympics? He did that thing with the orchestra. I'd love to know how that came about, and I'm sure he probably wrote it. He's just a comedy genius. And Rowan Atkinson is next to James Brown talking about football with Dennis Bergkamp.
Right.
Next on your list.
Next on my list, unfortunately, another passed away soul. But he again, this guy, I feel like he will stand out the test of time. I always feel like this guy's legacy will never be kept quiet. And this man is standing behind me.
I knew it.
Muhammad Ali. And I just love his story. I love the psychological games he used to play. I loved his persona, and I just felt like he was always giving a positive message out to the world that you can believe in yourself, you can do whatever you want to do and accomplish your dreams. And I just feel like the guy, he's just like everything you want basically. He fought diversity, and he really tried to make the world a better place. So I'm all for Muhammad Ali sitting on my table. Again, he might be a bit loud at times. He might sort of like shout over Winston or Tom Hanks. So I might have to give him a yellow card if that does happen. He goes, "I'm the best. I'm the prettiest." And then be like, "Okay, well, didn't really ask you, but thank you, Mohammed." Wait, now back to Winston. What happened what happened there?
Oh god! So but would he just come out with that like in random? So Winston will be talking about the beaches and everything, and then
he'd be like, "Oh, and then Mohammed we fought on the beaches. I got a snake in my boot. I'm the prettiest. I'm the best." Oh my god! So,
are you done? Are you finished?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I feel like if we do that at a dinner party, they might leave.
Well, no, I'm telling you what would have happened at the dinner party.
I'm just saying, don't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you'll offend them.
Right.
My next guest, and I'm actually surprised that I don't know if he is on your list, and it might be a little different, and I just think it's a common love that we have, Mr. Darby.
Oh, don't.
My next guest is none other than Del Boy himself, David Jason.
You've taken one of my guests. The rules of this dinner party, just so you know, we should have said at the beginning, if we had choose each other's guest, we do have substitution. So I have 2 subs I can use. But David Jason, like he's on your table, he was on my table as well. So
I've stolen him. It's just, he's in the background. He's in the background.
I think
for me.
I don't know about you, Sam, but for me, he was basically he was on my television as a child nearly every day, and even as a child it was hilarious. Even now I could tell you I've watched this episode easily over 100 times and I'll laugh. I will always laugh. It's timeless. And I don't want to define David Jason to just Only Fools.
It's an iconic role. Obviously he's been in other things.
Tell me why you've put him on your table then, because I've taken over your guest there.
I've put him on my table because I think that, and it sounds pathetic, but when I was younger, right, I like in my little sales roles, everyone used to say, "Oh, you're a right little Del Boy, you are," and I was like, "What do you mean?" And then I started watching Only Fools and Horses, and I was like, I wouldn't say I am him, but I just feel like his confidence, his belief that he can do anything, and he's just generally funny in that role anyway. Like I don't know. I think it's just so iconic in that particular role.
It's sort of a compliment and not a compliment, though. Like, just to be honest, I mean, he did say bonjour as goodbye. You know, that's what you've got to bear in mind.
He did, but like I even think like little things like I don't even realise I do it now. Like I think I started saying like, "Oh, hello, pal," or something like that because he says "pal" or something. So
no. This is getting silly now. I feel like we need to move on. No, you're talking nonsense. You're insulting David Jason. Oh, by the way. An honourable mention, David Jason, I thought smashed the role in BFG. Did you ever watch that as a kid?
I haven't seen that.
So it was a cartoon version of BFG. He wasn't Mertesacker, by the way, just before anyone.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a big.
We know you're a big fan.
Big friendly giant, and so yeah. No, I think we did really well in that. I also like Darling Buds of May. He did well in that. But unfortunately, I do feel like, even though he played Jack Frost as well, was it Jack Frost?
Yeah. I think it was.
You know, unfortunately, he was one of these actors that are just defined to one role because it was so iconic, the Del Boy character, wasn't it? And everyone has virtually watched One Only Fools and Horses episode, and they can recognise him because of how much he stood out. So thanks for nicking my guest.
That's all right. I mean, go on? You get a substitution. David has he's declined your invitation because he's coming to my party.
Yeah, he's busy. So one of my subs is Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
Frank Sinatra. Nice. Again, an absolute sort of stunning talent. I think his voice will always stand the test of time. There was nothing else like it, and still isn't anything else like it. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Frank Sinatra's music. It might be a bit surprising to hear that coming from.
But you like it. You like it your way, mate.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah. I also sort of I like how in a time that it was absolutely banished if you did, but he did stand up for black people, and he wanted to bring black people into the industry, and You know, hearing what he did with Nat King Cole. I don't know if you know about this, Sam, but basically Las Vegas back in the day when it sort of like started doing like big shows, they had Frank Sinatra, and he wanted to bring in Nat King Cole, and basically a lot of people would be after, like, basically to kill Nat King Cole. A lot of people would be racist that they would want to kill him. So what Frank Sinatra did is that he managed to get Nat King Cole in Las Vegas, right? But the catch was, you know, it was a great success for Nat King Cole. It really sort of spread his name and helped him, you know, sing with Frank Sinatra. Some people obviously heard that he was in town, and some people heard the music and they loved it, but some people wanted to kill him. So what they'd have to do, Frank Sinatra would have to personally get Nat King Cole literally on the borderline of Las Vegas and stay the night somewhere outside of Vegas, and then they have to repeat that process for, I think it was like a week or two.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he just did. I mean, that's just a very small story, but it just goes to show that in that extreme heat of racism at that time, he was the one willing to stick his neck out. And Frank Sinatra was huge at the time. He was like an Elvis Presley, you know. So, you know, I just feel, again, he would offer great stories like what I've just told you, and yeah, it'd be interesting. So
that's I mean, I've learned something because I didn't know that. So I mean, I'm sure you and Frank would enjoy that at your party.
Yeah.
My final guest that has confirmed is kind of very similar in the way that they're another singer. Unfortunately, they have passed, and their voice will be here forever. And that guest is Freddie Mercury. I feel like Freddie Mercury really, like, I mean, I like Queen music anyway. Having watched a film like Bohemian Rhapsody kind of gave me more of an understanding about his life. And to come from somewhere like Zanzibar, where he always said, like, I'm gonna be something from a young age. He got forced into boxing, didn't like it, and then was like, you know what? Like, he went to England, and he was like, I'm gonna make something of myself, and boy did he! Like, he's just, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's iconic, absolutely iconic, unbelievable voice, and like his songs, such as like similar to Frank, will be around forever.
Yeah, I feel like he's another sort of character that stood out, and yeah, no, I mean, he in a way, it's sort of like such a shame that he passed so early, because it's one of them musicians that you just feel like could have done so much more in the world and music. So yeah, it'd be great to, I guess, have him on the table and see what he'd say.
I do think that him and James Brown, not James Charles, James Brown would there'd be issues, because they were both party animals, mate. Yeah. So I don't know how I'm going to control
just them. For anyone listening who doesn't know who James Charles is, he is an extremely provocative, loud, gay person who is on YouTube. He's a YouTube guy, basically. So apologise to James Brown there. You are not James Charles. Yeah. And that is a complete glitch in my brain. So
so when your final guest, and then we're going to the people who unfortunately couldn't make it.
Yeah. My final guest, who's still alive, and I've always taken a very strange interest into him, and I don't know why, but it's Michael Caine. I've always found his story. I mean, I read his autobiography, and I also listened to his audiobook, and I just found that he had a lot of struggles in life. He come from very humble beginnings. He said that his first acting role was being at the age of like 5 or 6 and having to tell the landlord that his parents weren't in to pay rent, and his mum was actually hiding behind the front door. So could you imagine that pressure?
Shit.
Could you imagine that pressure, that he's basically opening the front door, the mum's there looking at him, and he's having to tell the landlord, sorry, my parents aren't in to pay the rent. So yeah, no, he you know, he had a very interesting story, and again, great actor, great talent. Even now, he can absolutely smash it. I feel like he is the English Clint Eastwood. You know, he just has this
big claim.
He has this great talent and timeless films. So yeah, My guess, like, would you have predicted a lot of my guess, Sam?
Muhammad Ali, I would have definitely said. David Jason, I think, was
on the
pretty given for both of us. I'm surprised there was no Mr. Thierry Henry.
He was on my subs.
Oh, he is. I've ruined the subs.
Yeah.
I've ruined the subs. Is there anyone that surprised you that isn't on mine?
Thierry Henry for me was the first person that grabbed me when I watched football at the stadium. Like, he really grabbed my attention from a very young age, and I thought, wow, like, I've actually just got to keep watching him, because it was. I mean, the things he did when you watched him on the pitch, the things he did it so quickly and so fast that basically all that happened is he scored the goal. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was like it was almost like a blur and then goal. For at that age, anyway,
pretty much.
So you're so focused. You're trying to sort of like watch the game, but you're so focused on what's going on around you as a kid, having thousands of men like swearing and smoking and drinking booze and spilling booze all over each other. Like, you're like, I shouldn't be here, but I'm here to watch the football, and all of that's kicking off. But I think you've got some subs, Sam, haven't you? So have you got two subs then?
I've got 3 subs.
You've got 3 subs that couldn't make the night.
They couldn't make it. Like, one of them is just like was kind of like a last minute thing. I thought, in case Dennis, James, Rowan, David, and Freddie couldn't make it, then this person. I
love that you're on a first name basis.
Excellent. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to be like Mr. Bergkamp, Mr. Brown. I'm not going to do that. So the first person, I'm actually surprised wasn't on your list, just because of how iconic a particular moment was. First person on my list is Bobby Moore. Just because I would love to hear so much about the '66 World Cup. Like, I'm a bit of a football nerd, as you know, but I don't. Like, I'll be honest, I don't know too much about the '66 World Cup. Yeah, no, I know. So it is a shock. But I'd love to know more about the '66 World Cup. Obviously, know the story of the final, but I'd like to know more about the players. And I'm sure like there was a culture there where they'd be smoking, they'd be drinking, doing whatever. I know there was a massive party after the final, as you can probably expect. But mate, it would blow my mind to know more about that. My second guest, it was kind of a toss-up between him and David Jason, if I'm honest. Very similar sort of roles they had. The second would be John Cleese.
Oh, John Cleese is a shout. I would have had John Cleese on my subs, I reckon.
Yeah, John Cleese. Obviously, Fawlty Towers, Monty Python. I don't really say anything else. He literally is just an icon.
Yeah. Did I tell you the time I saw John Cleese? Did I ever tell you that this time?
No.
No, so like I felt so stupid at first, but basically I was walking to a flat. Like, I was at work, and I was walking to a flat to meet someone to do a viewing. So as I'm walking to this flat, like I'm walking through this park, and I've just got my head down, completely focused on looking at my phone. I don't know what I was doing, like Twitter or whatever, and I'm like walking, and then all of a sudden I see these like large crowds of people like filming something with their phone like this, and I'm thinking like, well, they're obviously not filming me, but I feel like I've just walked through something. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So and I was listening to music, so I was completely buried on my phone. Like, I had no idea, other than literally just the glimpse of my one eye seeing people film stuff. So I put my phone down and paused my music, and I could see everyone filming this building. And I'm thinking, what is this all about? And then all of a sudden, John Cleese comes out of this window. Like, he pokes his head out the window, and he, not one word of a lie, he goes, "Oh, you are godly goop, 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 godly boo," like that. And I...
What?
And then sort of like went back in, and then I realised that there was this huge film crew. There was this like massive bus, and he was speaking to someone on the bus, and I just thought, did I actually just see John Cleese
mad
put his head out window and say, "You are a godly goop goo," or something like that? It was just like it was a John Cleese word. It was like a Monty Python sort of word. Like,
yeah, it's something he would say.
Like nonsense, basically.
Yeah. And then my final sub, you're just gonna laugh and be like, "Well, that is pathetic." But it was only recently, having rewatched a documentary about the band that he was in, and he would just flip the table over and go mental. I'd be really interested to have Liam Gallagher at my party, mate, because I think, like, I know, like, he's a bit of a dodgy character, but from basically, did you know? Have you watched the Supersonic documentary?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
So I just think the fact that he had no interest in music, he got a whack on the head, and all of a sudden, he's this rock star. Like, I just think it's unbelievable, and similar to Freddie Mercury, he was so driven and was just like, whatever happens, we're gonna have a number one. We're gonna be the best rock band in the world.
Yeah.
And I just think Oasis ended too quickly.
I feel like their sort of talent was too much. I feel like that band was sort of that all of them, as you say, the characters, like especially Liam. Like Liam, I think's a massive character, and he at the end of the day,
a nutter.
He's sort of like a solo guy, really. At the end of the day, isn't he? He's someone that basically shouldn't be in a band. Do you know what I mean?
Pretty much.
But it is. I've got to be honest with you though. It's never nice to see that they're not really like a family anymore. Like that's really not nice to think that they were rock stars of the world, and then, you know, it's a bit.
Do we know why? Do we actually know why? Because I'll be honest. I've watched so many things online, and Liam Gallagher, who's a bit of a troublesome sort of character, he said, "Oh, it's him. It's not me." But really, we probably know it is Liam because he's a bit of a dickhead. So, like, we don't like Liam. If you are watching, I'm very sorry.
I'm very sorry, Liam. You're very welcome to the party if guests don't make it.
Yeah,
pathetic.
Absolutely.
Pathetic.
But yeah, no, that's my dinner party.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting to know as well. Sorry to interrupt, mate. People would put theirs in the comments of who they would want at their dinner party. You got 5 guests, and if you want subs, you can't make your mind up. Just whack them in there, and then it might change on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah, and also let us know what conversations you think would happen. But Sam, I've got to be honest with you, mate. I'm very happy with this pod. I think we've done very well.
I'm pleased you're happy. I'm happy as well, mate.
I'm really looking forward to this dinner party now. And yeah, I'll.
Wait, what are you making? What are you cooking?
Probably like Happy Meal or something.
Right,
Probably just get the Happy Meals in, or the 2 for Tuesday Domino's. Let's go.
Oh my god! I mean, we'll see how Winston feels about that. Winston and Michael Caine with their bloody Happy Meal toy. I don't know how that's going to go down.
Yeah. Well.
I mean. Anyway,
yeah. Thank you for listening, or possibly you watched this podcast. Thank you. Please leave a sub, sub if you haven't subscribed, and I'm gonna say my name's Jack. Be lucky.
And my name's Sam, and we'll see you when you're older.